whenever you go for any evaluation, the first thing is you need to analyze what the job is. So the first point here is job analysis. Job classification, or we call it as grading. Again, grading the system, right? And there are people who grade according to the person as well as they grade according to the position. Why you are not getting more salary is only because of that. That is why inflexibility to change. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm B.Ba from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students here. Now here in this compensation and performance management of human resource management, we have the second chapter called as the job evaluation. So what exactly we will learn in job evaluation? Please do understand a small introduction why job evaluation should be conducted. See, for the first chapter when we went with the compensation, what exactly compensation is, how compensation goes with in the organization, when we went for it, we got to know that anything and everything given by the employer to his employees, whether it is monetary or non-monetary, that is called compensation, because the employer is giving something, reason that employee has done things for the employer. That's the reason he'll compensate, right? So how a compensation is calculated? It is actually calculated on the basis of job evaluation. I'll just write J, job evaluation. So what is this evaluation? See, the way we understand evaluation, we need to be very clear when we go with this. Whenever you write your examination, there will be a person who will evaluate your papers, right? How will he evaluate your paper? On the basis of how beautifully you have written, or what exactly the answer is. That is how he goes with it. So what exactly he does? Will he go with only your handwriting, or will he go with your content? So that is what you need to check. There are many of the students, they always say that, sir, more than the quantity, we should have quality. And that is how the evaluation should be done. See, I'll tell you, majority, say 80% to 90% people always go with quality. That is, whatever the question you have been asked, you should give a qualitative answers, right? But here it is not 100%. There are few people, what they do is they go with say 20%, in the sense 10% to 20% people, they prefer that quantity should be also considered. But there are only few people, right? Only few people who check both, that is quality as well as quantity, right? So evaluation is done on the basis of the person who is evaluating. So just to make sure that it should be a uniform way, let me tell you very frankly and with a lot of determination, each and every manager, the team leader, supervisor, or anybody who is a senior, they cannot evaluate anybody uniformly. What will happen is there will be a small error of mistake under say miscommunication, or the way they feel about the person. So the perspective will change. So what the companies do is they set a standard job evaluation process. So what will they set? A standard job evaluation process, which is always systematic. That's what? Systematic in nature. And they want to establish a uniformity in the entire company. But there are so many companies. All the companies will not go with the systematic way. They have their own kind of a unique calculation of job evaluation. So here, in the complex landscape of organizational management, the equitable and systematic assessment of jobs is paramount to establishing a fair and competitive compensation structure. As I told you, there are a lot of companies, there are a lot of HR managers, there are many superiors, supervisors, and the team leaders. So whenever they go for job evaluation, I told you, right, there are few people who go with quality, there are few people who goes with quantity, there are few people who go with both quality as well as quantity for job evaluation. So there will be unfair practice if they don't maintain a uniformity. So that's why what happens is the error will always be there. That's why they say error is human. Right? Human is there, so error will be there. That is what they say. So this chapter we're going to understand how job evaluation is done. So the meaning of job evaluation, if I tell you here, please understand. We have a person called managing director. Here we have the functional structure. We have, say, the finance manager, the HR manager, and we have, say, sales manager. Now the job evaluation is done by the managing director of these three posts. If I am giving an example, finance manager is expertise in finance. The same way these managers are expertise in their own field. So what will be the compensation amount for sales manager, HR manager and finance manager? So this MD will take a course of action that will be like he'll go with the techniques of job evaluation. So what is the technique of job evaluation? He'll consider on what basis should I give them the salary, because all these three of them, they're expertise in their own field. So what compensation should I give? What remuneration should I give? What should I be giving them for the monetary as well as non-monetary, for a variable as well as fixed? So he'll have a dilemma. So then he'll do what? He'll go with a systematic approach, and that systematic approach is nothing but your job evaluation. So job evaluation is what? Systematic and structured process. See, it is a structured process. When I say they have something called the steps which should be followed. Say this is the first step, second step, third step, the fourth step, and then they will evaluate. So probably here the finance manager who is there, he has more experience comparatively to the HR manager. So I'll just give you an example. Say this finance manager has 36 years of experience. HR manager has somewhere 25 years of experience. Sales manager has somewhere around 8 years of experience. So who should get more salary if you go with it? Just because of the experience or the age what that person has, we will not evaluate. Say one of the factor can be age. So here the one of the factor is age. Now when it comes to the second factor, that is skills. What extra skills do they have? What would be their qualification, right? So this person would have done, say, a PhD in human resource management, as well as he gets a master degree certificate of MBA from a Harvard University or any good university, say example. Now that is also a criteria. So here they go with, say, here they go with experience, here they go with qualification. Then there is something called skills, isn't it, right? Skills. What skills does he has? The more the skills he has, the more expertise in the field, and people want him, and the way he works is really good. For example, the sales manager, the way he works and the sales of the company is growing just because of the decisions what the sales manager has taken. Again, job evaluation is also done on the basis of that. So here if you go with it, assess and determine the relativity and the value or the worth of different jobs within the organization. That is, a value will also be considered. How much value a person is in the organization will also be considered. So this is how the job evaluation is done, so that the compensation is given to the employees in a fair manner. There should not be any bias. See, if the minute somebody says there is a bias, they don't feel like working there. So that's the reason job evaluation should be done very systematically. So what are the key elements of job evaluation? Now I have listed few of the key elements. Please understand. Whenever you go for any evaluation, the first thing is you need to analyze what the job is. So the first point here is job analysis. You analyze what the job needs. Who's the person who should be in charge, right? You need to understand, and then you are supposed to go for it. The second one is job ranking. It is also called classification, right? Job ranking or classification. Compensation structure should be checked. So compensation structure, say example, whenever we go, say here I'll just write it kind of levels which you need to understand. So there is a person who is working in the organization for say 5 years. What exactly that person contribution is and how much we are compensating, we are supposed to know. If there is a person who's working for 10 years, 15 years and 15 years plus 15 years. So here what happens, the package will not be the same. The package will not be the same. So what it is, the compensation structure when they go with it, these are also the levels which are being set. Equity and fairness, there should always be equality as well as the fairness should be there. You cannot give any biased decision. It should be unbiased. Market competitiveness. See, whenever we go with this market competitiveness, understand, why will your employees join any other company and they don't want to be in your company after say 5 years or 10 years? The reason is the market and the market competency. Now when we go with this competition, there is a company called ABC company and there is a company called XYZ company. You are working in a ABC company for 5 years and they are giving you somewhere around 10 lakh as a package per annum, and your friend is working XYZ, he also graduated in the same year, he's also having the same experience what you have the experience, he is working in the same say department where you are working, but he is getting 14 lakhs. Now what happens is, the person who is working, that is you who is working in ABC company, when you talk to your friend who is working in XYZ company, you will ask your friend, how is that you are getting 14 lakh, but why is that I'm getting 10 lakh? Why is that my company is bigger than your company, but still your company is paying you more and my company is paying me less? See, understand? Then he'll tell you that these are the criteria where my HR is judging me and he is giving me 14 lakh rupees. So you will go back to the HR and you will tell, sir, I need an immediate hike or else I'll quit. So your HR says he'll try to convince you, right? He'll convince you or he'll confuse you. Then he'll tell you something. But then you will understand that market prices for my work, my skills, my qualification, my expertise, it should not be 10, it should be more than 10, right? So your HR will tell, okay, we're gonna give you a package of 12 lakh rupees. But still what happens? Again, the compensation structure has changed. What you feel is that 2 lakh which your friend is getting more. So what you do is you switch to the other company. But the reality is it can be both, right? Your friend would have got 14 lakh or your friend would have bluffed you. So that's the reason many of the students whomever have trained, after they join any of the companies, the first initial 2 years itself, they'll compare what their earning is, what their friend's earning is, some other company, and they try to change. So my humble request to you is go talk to your HR manager, talk to him, talk to her, and then convince them that you can actually give a lot of productivity to the company, and that is the reason the company will also give it to you. So next is market competitiveness, which we spoke, and then there should be a proper communication. See, that is a key point of the evaluation. Communication should be there. You should always talk to the HR manager. You should always talk to your seniors. You should always go for clarification rather than getting confused, or rather than making feeling that why am I working in a very small package. You should be communicating, saying that this is what I'll be giving to the company and this is how I need from the company. Next is legal compliance. Just always follow the legality should be more, and you should go for that. Next is methods of job evaluation. See, I have listed many methods, but in your syllabus we have only 3 methods where they have focused on more. So let's focus more on those 3 methods than all the methods. So we have the first one, job ranking. Now what exactly this ranking is? Now each and every department will have lot of employees, right? There are a lot of positions also, saying exactly like executive manager, senior executive manager, assistant executive manager, or we have senior manager, assistant manager, junior assistant manager. So what happens is here ranking is given to each and every position. On the basis of ranking, the compensation is decided. Job classification, or we call it as grading. Again, grading the system, right? And there are people who grade according to the person as well as they grade according to the position. Factor comparison method, they compare with each other. Hey system, this system was given by a person where he says that the calculation should not be according to the job ranking or classification. It should go with what is the amount of work they do. Next is market pricing. How much the market is giving? Am I giving the same in my company for my employees is what the employer will feel. Paired comparison method. Here again they'll go with the pairing of people and whether that person is working more, I'll give him more. If he is working less, I'll pay him less. Job element method and analytical evaluation. Analytical evaluation is a new kind of evaluation where they go with every aspect about a person, that what exactly he is doing it from the minute he enters to the organization and from the minute he exits from the organization. Is he being productive? That is what analytical evaluation goes with. Next is importance of point factor method. Let me tell you about what exactly a point factor method is. This is a very important method which has been in your syllabus, and they'll ask you about explain point factor method with advantages or limitations. You can write down the advantages as well as limitations. Before that, let's understand what is point factor method. So here they're gonna give points to the person accordingly. Say example here, I'll give you a small example. So there are these point factors. One, here it is on the basis of what? Here they're gonna give points and here will be the percentage. Say if I need to give a compensation to any of the employee, they should go with this point factor. First one, on the basis of qualification, right? Qualification. On the basis of skills, on the basis of experience, on the basis of, let's go with qualification is done, skills is done, expertise is done, or sorry, it is experience, and here we'll go with productivity. Productivity of the person, productivity. Done. Now here I have given 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Say we'll go with 25 points, right? 25 points. Done. And what will be the percentage? Again 25% each. 25%, here also percent, 25%, 25%. So this is the chart given, that is a standard. This is called standards given by the company. Now the actual, let's have the same 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. On the basis, here it is the point, here is the percentage. So first one is qualification, next is skill, next is expertise. We'll have one more table, and here is productivity. This is the actual. And I'll take an example of one of the HR manager. I'll just take the qualification is 25. Now the 25 is also what? It is split. I'll just give an example, one of the example here. So I have taken the HR manager, so I'll just give an example of this qualification. The qualification goes with, say the qualification is for 25 marks, right? So they're gonna split 15 marks for his say PhD, 10 marks for his masters. Now this HR manager, he has not done his PhD, but he has done his masters. So here they'll give 10 out of 25. How much he got? 10. The same way skills. What exactly the skills they have? Say out of 25, somewhere they feel that he has a skills of say 15. Experience for say each year it's a 2 marks or 2.5 marks is what the points they have given. So here what is his experience? It can be again say 22.5 can be his experience. Let's give an example like that. Productivity, Is he really doing those things? Somebody will evaluate, he'll say yes, he's actually doing it, so 25 on 25. So on this basis, the factor is decided and the compensation is given on the basis of this job evaluation. So here, what is the importance of it? It is all about quantitative. Students, that is the only reason we can actually write this 25, 25, 10, 15, 2.25, because it is quantitative. You will get exact number. It is not like qualitative. Qualitative can only be graded. Quantitative is exactly, you will tell it as 22.5. See, exactly they say 10 points, because that is how the point factor work. It is all about quantitative techniques. Detailed job analysis is done. Each and everything is done. Customization and flexibility. See, customization for, I gave an example of HR manager. Now the same thing, let's go with a driver. Right now, customization can be done. Instead of qualification, now we don't need a PhD, we don't need a master degree. A driver, basic qualification, he should have a DL. He should not have done any accidents in the past. If he has done, what exactly it is, how is his behavior. Now we don't need his productivity here. We need something called dedication. So this is what it is, flexible. We can change according to our things. Comparative analysis, we can compare from HR manager with another manager. Alignment and compensation, we can compensate according to the alignments as well. So this is the importance of point factor. When we go with the next one, the same point factor, we have limitation also. That is, it is complex implementation, very complex it is actually. Subjectivity in the factor assignment is there. It's subjective. Resource intensive is also there. Potential for oversimplification, we can actually simplify it, but people won't do it. Inflexibility to change. See, I told you about flexibility on the department, but when it comes to that department, there we can't change anything. So that's the biggest problem. See, that's why, please understand why I tell all my students to get your masters and then go for it. I gave an example of qualification, right? Qualification. So here it is 25 marks. Now they would have said for a master degree it is say 10 points. For a PhD it is say 15 points, right? I'm just giving an example of it. It's not like PhD 15, you are supposed to do PhD. It is not like that, right? Without PhD also there are so many people who are HR manager and they are earning pretty much very good. So, what we say is they are actually making a lot of money. So I just gave an example as a PhD. Because I'm doing PhD, that's why I prefer PhD. That's the reason, right? So don't get confused here. So inflexibility change in the sense, say they would have given master degree, it's 10, and there is one more qualification, say PhD is 15. So you have done only master degree and you didn't do PhD. So what happens is here it is only 10. Suppose you have not done master degree, you have done only bachelor's, and you have somewhere around 35 years of experience. Why you are not getting more salary is only because of that. That is why inflexibility to change. That's the reason many of the people after COVID, they started to do their masters in Udemy or Upgrad or any other thing. The only reason is what? Because of this point factor method. So that's why get your master degree done. That is what I always tell my students. Next is importance. Now, the next point here, if you go with it, importance of combining point factor method. So the first one is comprehensive evaluation, objective, basis for comparison. There is always a comparison. That's the reason it is called a combination, right? Combining point factor. Customization and flexibility is there. Alignment with compensation. See, these are the few points which is repeated, so you can use it actually. Nonce differentiation. Now here, when we go with this nonce differentiation, please do understand, there is complexity which we know that, but still, here there is a lot of differentiation on the person who is working in different departments, because when they go for compensation, they'll try to understand that what exactly is a requirement for a person to be given more compensation or less compensation. So next one, we have the same kind of a thing, but here please try to understand this. That is factor comparison method. So what happens in factor comparison method is, factor comparison methods are a category of job evaluation techniques that involve comparing jobs based on a set of predetermined factors considered critical in determining job value. So here what happens is, there is again a predetermined factor, already it has been determined, and we are supposed to determine one more thing called as the job value. How important is the job? That is also we need to understand. So importance are what? Holistic job evaluation is there. It is like total, in total everything you will check, you will not leave anything. 360-degree everything is been calculated. Customization and flexibility, again here also customization is there, flexibility is there. External market alignment is there. Objective basis for evaluation, and then promotion of internal equity. So all these are what? The importance of factor. What is the limitations if I tell you here is, I'll go with the first one, that is complex. See, these are the words which you need to always remember because it is there everywhere. The second one, if you go with it, is subjectivity in factor aids, right? So here when you go with the subjectivity, you will understand. And then we have reliance on external data accuracy. We'll only be depending upon the external data. And the last one is, it has the potential for oversimplification, but again people are working on it. Yes, 2025, 26 or 27, we will make sure that in any of the organization they can overcome the simplifications. And the next topic we have is responsibilities and functions of JEC. What exactly JEC is? Job Evaluation Committee. What are their responsibilities? See, what is JEC in the sense? It's a group of people where the committee members will be there. They'll start evaluating job evaluation, and there should not be any bias. That's the reason this committee has been placed. So what is the responsibility and functions? The first one here is, a well-functioning job evaluation committee is essential for maintaining equity, transparency, and employee satisfaction. How this employee satisfaction happens is, every employee, they always feel that the employer should give them more salary, right? Or more, say, positions, authority. They don't want responsibility, but they do want authority. And they always feel that if I have worked for the organization should take care. But in real or in totality, if you go with it, it's the other way around. The employer will always feel that my employee should work more, right? And money should go little lesser than what is that they are working. That is what the employer feels. See, every employer feels. If you become an employer also, you will feel the same. So what this committee does is, they'll analyze and they'll document it. So analysis is done, documentation is done. Selection and evaluation method is also checked. Factor identification and weighing. So they'll go for what exactly a person should get. Benchmark job selection should always be there. They need to select the best of the best candidate, right? And then market pricing consideration should be taken care. So here the responsibility, if I go little more, right, it should be like appeals and review process should always be there. Communication with stakeholders, they need to talk to people. Training and educating those who are the newbies. Regular evaluation should happen. It's not like 1 month we will evaluate and then we will not evaluate. Documentation, record keeping from the first to the last, it should actually happen. So what does FES? Factors Evaluation System. What are the factors, right? So the first factor is factor identification, factor ranking, and point assignment. So you will get a 2 marks question here. What is FES? So the factor evaluation system is a job evaluation method used to determine the relative value of different jobs within an organization based on a set of predetermined factors. Already it is there. We'll go for checking what exactly the evaluation is done. Position evaluation system called PES. Don't get confused with FES and PES. So here in PES, what will happen? We have a position evaluation system. They are the detailed documents that articulate the specific requirements, responsibility and qualification associated with a particular job within an organization. So key component typically includes in position evaluation system, that is, first is what is the job title, what work are you doing, what is your position. Position summary, key responsibility, reporting, relationship, qualification and education. See here, this is very important, students. Qualification and education, never skip your education, right? Never skip. Skills and competencies, decision making authority, working condition, how you are within the working condition. Supervisory responsibility, impact on organization, job complexity, internal and external relationship, performance matrix and career progression. All these are what? It is the position evaluation system key factors. So from the job title till the career progression, we go with this position evaluation system, PS. Never get confused with FES and PS. Any doubt regarding this session, please do call us. We are always there to help you. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you.